Hi everyone, I am the Sarcastic Sloth, and welcome to my channel. Given the heavy topics as of late, when this came across my timeline on Twitter, I just felt that this is something I definitely have to make a video on, and that is the Josh fight. If you're not aware of what I'm talking about, don't worry, we're going to be covering it in full, but with that being said, let's crack on. So you may be asking yourself, what is this Josh fight that you're speaking of? Well, it's an event where the seed was planted last year. The fellow who started this is Josh Swain, first of his kind, or as we might refer to him as well, the OG. The message that he sent out to as many other Josh Swains as he possibly could, as well as just Joshes in general from what I can surmise. So this is the group message that he sent out via Facebook. You're probably wondering why I've gathered you all here today. And he gets a response of because we all share the same names, which I'm imagining if you're looking at that with just Josh, and an endless supply, you would certainly come to that conclusion yourself. Precisely. 24th of April 2021 at 12 PM, meet at these coordinates. He gives the coordinates and then he says, we fight. Whoever wins gets to keep his name. Everyone else has to change their name. You have a year to prepare. Good luck. If you were to receive that in your Facebook group, you may be like me where you'd think, what kind of madness is this? Probably wouldn't give it much more credence than that. I mean, if it's in a year's time, I know for a fact that I would definitely forget, to be honest with you. So this was put out there at these specific coordinates. Now, the thing is, with those specific coordinates, that is actually a big open field that belongs to a farmer. When people were arriving there, because it had to actually be changed because the farmer decided he didn't want a Josh fight taking place, whatever that may look like. I imagine that he probably had no clue what it was going to be. So if people hadn't received the change of location, which we'll cover that in a little second, they would have arrived at that field and seen this pallet here saying no Josh fight here, private property, please go to the bowling lake park for Josh versus Josh versus Josh, and then they give the coordinates there, may the best Josh win. I imagine there was a bit of a mad dash for a lot of people, and it certainly seemed that was the case. When people got to the bowling lake park, they would have seen people setting up. Now what we have here, we're about an hour away from the start of hashtag Josh fight. Several have already gathered at Lincoln Air Park with pool noodles, preparing to battle it out to determine who is the real Josh. I imagine at this point, people might have been in two minds as to how this would have actually gone. There could be a whole ton of people there, there could be no one there, there could be just a handful of people there. Especially in these uncertain times, I imagine some people would say, yeah, I'm definitely coming, but then maybe they had no intention of doing so at all. So the Josh fight did actually take place. Well, I'll just play a few bits of footage here to show you exactly how many people turned up to what I can only describe as, from the looks of it, a whole lot of fun. And I've never wished my name was Josh so much in my life. I've never wished I lived in America so much in my life, to be fair.
We are supporting the children's
So as you can see, a chaotic battle, many colours, many people called Josh, as you would clearly assume, were there. And it got to the point where this became such an event, this was trending in the UK, as you can clearly see here. Dozens of Joshes battled in a field to determine the one true Josh, under the title of Amazing. So on Google Maps, it actually shows Legendary Josh Battlefield. Where the battle actually took place, which I find absolutely amazing. The beautiful thing about something like this is when a meme actually takes legs and it becomes a part of just sort of internet lore, and it also seeps out into the real world, and people just want to have a bit of fun. That's the other thing. There's a whole lot of Joshes. I imagine there were some people there who weren't called Josh. In fact, I know there weren't. Not every single person there was called Josh at the end of the day. You know, I think it was just a good excuse for people to to have some fun in what I can only describe as overtly serious times. Like I said, if my name was Josh, I'd be down at that park like no one's business. As with any battle, things can get a little bit out of hand. I'll show you this clip because not only is it pretty funny, it's also like, hang about, what is actually going on here? Maybe we should be calling someone, but you know, they are using pool noodles at the end of the day, so I'm not going to freak my nut too much on that.
Oh my god, yo! Yo! What the fuck? No! 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 No!
And we can see here some people really took a lot of artistic license with this. This kid definitely thinks he's General Grievous from start, which is definitely going to happen when you take the initiative, put some pool noodles on a Black & Decker, or 2 Black & Deckers at the very least, and just run around trying to avenge whoever it is he's trying to avenge. Let's not even question it that much.
Holy shit. He's a main character.
And this was such an event amongst these Joshes and Josh Swains in particular. You have a lot of people here, as you can see, making signs, making their own t-shirts, just really getting into the spirit of it. I'm with Josh. Just find it fantastic. I just love the fact that like so many people got involved in this in such a big way. I just think it's amazing that people do this. Joshua Swain, i.e. the OG Josh, he also wanted to make it not just a case that people were gathering together and having a crazy time, because that was like obviously a good portion of it, but then something was to come from it as well. And as you can see here, he says, we also ran a food drive for the Food Bank of Lincoln. Here is a picture of the haul after we already loaded up 1 car, which I think's amazing. You know, it's not just goofing, it's not just like, you know, like when everyone gathered at Area 51 and it was literally just for the meme. They've used this for a vehicle to do some good, and I think that's amazing, man. I think it's absolutely fantastic. They didn't just get caught up in the meme of it all, which is easy to do in these kinds of situations, 100%. Also as well, they were given to the official Josh Swain Fund for the Children's Hospital and Medical Center Foundation. Needless to say, money was raised and it was for a good cause. So at the end of the day, this all had to come to something, had to culminate in something, and that was finding the one true Josh, the one Josh to rule them all, as it were. And they found, I think, the best recipient of this particular honor, this award, this, you know, mightily esteemed crown. They found, of course, little Josh here, and he was getting involved with the crowd, and he was there with his father, just having a good time. And yeah, they crowned him king, so let's have a look at some of that footage.
Josh, little Josh, little Josh,
give him some space.
Can I have a few words on your thoughts on the big win?
Give him some space.
I'm just making sure.
Quiet, everyone, and they're always
Quiet down!
Always win.
He's 5, everybody! Woo!
Down to the ground.
I now crown you the King Josh.
Yeah!
King Josh!
Give him the
Who's this guy?
Who's this? Yeah, who's good? Yeah! Lift him up! Lift him up! Lift him up!
Is there anything you would like to say?
You got everyone!
It's pretty awesome, man. He's gonna remember this for the rest of his life.
I think he's right. I think the sentiment of that is he will never forget it. He'll probably question what the hell was that for a long period of time. Like, I think at this point in time, he's going, what is going on? I have no idea what the hell is actually going on. You know, I just think it's really cool that they chose to, one, they used it for a charity event, and then also, you know, they're just making this kid's day, which I think is amazing. I think it's absolutely amazing. So with that being said, and everything culminating in the crowning of the one true Josh, OG Josh has made a thank you here, saying thank you so much to all of the volunteers that helped out and the residents of the great city of Lincoln for being so welcoming and making this event incredible. Still in disbelief at the moment, but amazed at the incredible support. I don't doubt that he's in disbelief. I don't know how completely serious he was at the very beginning. Maybe it started off as a laugh, but the fact that this culminated in something that really, on the day of it, because we're a couple of days removed now, but on the day of it, captured the imagination and everyone was excited. I didn't see any kind of, you know, negativity towards it. I think it's just exactly, it's what those Joshes needed, but I think it's also what we needed as well. I think, you know, with so much heaviness going on in the world and on the world of YouTube and Twitter and all the rest of it, it's nice to have a break like this where we can just get caught up in some silliness, you know, and it's just basically a load of Joshuas in a field hitting the hell out of each other, which I think is fantastic. People wanted to have photos taken with the OG Josh and have him sign things because he brought together this crazy event, which, you know, as you can see here, a lot of people wanted to thank him for what he's done. And I think, you know, it's one of those things that I don't think he'll totally realize sort of the magnitude of that event and what that meant to all of the people who were there until he gets home. It all wears off, you know, the hashtag dies down, so to speak, and he gets to sit back and goes, yeah man, I gathered a whole field of Joshes together to fight each other with pool noodles in a field, and I did a lot of good out of it. Made this kid's day as well, you know, making him the one true Josh to rule them all. I think it's amazing what people will do if you let their imagination run wild, and everyone else sort of gets on board with that as well. I think we're quite cynical, and we've got reason to be, given the 2020 and the 2021 that we've had so far. But this is a reason just to sort of put that to the side and just have a laugh, really. And I think it's exactly what the doctor ordered. That's why I couldn't wait to do a video on this, what I can only describe as my favorite event so far of the year. As you can see here, everything's wrapping up, and the Samantha here says, just now leaving the Josh fight. I feel like I'm in a fever dream. So let me know what you think about it. Pop it down in the comments. Did you enjoy it? Do you think it was just a good distraction from everything? Do you think it's just exactly what we needed? Or maybe you have a different opinion of it. I don't know. But pop it down in the comments. If you like the video, then like and subscribe. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play some of my favorite memes from around the event. You guys can enjoy that for what it is. Until next time, stay safe out there.